Okay, so let's talk about American Theft 80s. This game just came out June 15th, 2022. I want to thank the devs and publishers Noble, Muffins, and Playway SA for their review copy. However, all thoughts will be my own. This game is from, at least they say here, from the makers of Thief Simulator. I heard that I haven't really played Thief Simulator personally myself. I've seen a lot of gameplay and it looked pretty fun. This one, I think it feels like some sort of side project or something. Like, it's not like insanely fleshed out, but there's enough here that will get people talking about it pretty much. It's not a bad game whatsoever. However, it's not like a fully crazy realized gigantic thieving journey. It's only $20, so it is, that it's what I expect, right? By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, come by Twitch. This is where all of the recordings are being done. I am actually live streaming this review right here, so would love to see you guys there. So, once again, Noble Muffins and Playway SA. I have covered some of their games in the past, and they did some really, really interesting things. This game is straight single player, Steam achievements, partial control support. However, I would recommend playing keyboard and mouse if you have the option. At least you can do some sensitivity stuff. You can change third person to first person, FOV sliders, etc. So you can change it that way. Steam Cloud as well. You can also buy a bundle right now. You can get a Thief Simulator plus American Theft for $20. That's actually pretty good for the same, like, it's pretty much the same price as this. So it's 47% off if you do both of it. So what is this game about, and is it worth your time and money? Well, $20 I would say for a thieving simulator game. It's not bad. This is a sandbox game, but there are chapters. So the game starts with you playing as, I don't even know what this guy's name. I don't know if they said it, but basically it seems like you're a guy who just got to this new town. You got a job trying to steal something from the mayor. However, you get caught by the police, and whoever employed you kind of breaks you out and pretty much tells you, hey, I got you out, start from the bottom again, and we'll try to work our way over there. So this is a sandbox game. You're going to be primarily taking quests from people and going through the ropes, learning the tutorials of how to basically sneak your way into houses, open doors with tools, break windows. You can use lock picks, and reading routines and schedules. This is a really important part about the game. I think it's pretty clever. You can go ahead and purchase different sorts of information from shady individuals around town for different houses, and they make it a point here on the Steam page to say every house you see, every building, you can go in and steal things. That's true. You know why? Because there isn't that many here. It's not like, a block of like 20 houses. It's like maybe like 5 here in this clump, and then you can go to another area. Oh, a gas station here, maybe 2 more houses. So there's not a lot here, but they are not wrong with that statement. But yes, going back to the routines, you can see how many people are living in the house, and you can see their schedule. Maybe between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. they're outside of the house, and maybe 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. they're like in the bedroom or something like that. So you can plan out how you want to sneak in the house. You have to case the joint, which I think it's the most fun part of the game, like actually pulling off your own mini heist. So how many people are there? 1, 2, 3. When is one person leaving? When's one person on the very outside, so I can break a window on one side, sneak in, and then I know they're going to be in this portion of the house for a couple hours, so I can grab everything, run out, etc. There's a lot of things to pick up. There's loose cash, which doesn't take up any inventory space. You can grab shoes, a lot of 80s stuff, cassette tapes, etc. Headphones, they call them Runmans here, but they're Walkmans, of course. So there's a lot of like old nostalgia stuff you can take, and then you have the big things like vinyl records and stuff that's part of the main quest. So you're gonna be going to lots of different areas. It has, every once in a while there's like a GTA little cutscene where you talk to an NPC. He's a little quirky, and he's like, oh man, I can get you this job if you do this and this and this for me. So you're going to be doing a couple for them. Then you can talk to other people into that faction. Sometimes it's a bar, etc. And then you can go ahead and talk to them, and you can do side quests. You can go talk to them, and you want to do those because it makes it so your faction level rises and you get more benefits. For example, maybe in the near pawn shop, you have better buying and selling prices. Speaking of the pawn shop, that's where you can be selling all of your optional goods, but you're going to need that money. You can pay off an NPC in the game to get the heat off you if you get caught too many times, everyone is going to really be aware, so it's going to be extremely difficult for you to steal anything, so you want to pay that off. You can also buy tools from pawn shops, and they do have durability, so you're going to have to pay to repair that. This game has a sort of experience leveling up system where, yeah, you steal things to get money to sell to buy tools. However, every time you steal things, you get some experience. You get more experience for the more, crazier and difficulty things that you get. And then you have a small little tiny skill tree, so you can increase your stamina, for example, your backpack, your tool durability, and then it goes from there. The whole goal of the game is, once again, it's kind of like I don't really want to compare it to Grand Theft Auto, but it's like that. There's a little bit of side quests to do, but basically you're going to NPCs, doing quests, mini quest, and then you get to do a heist, and that ends the chapter. The heists are pretty cool because it tells you like step by step what you're going to be doing. It has a layout of the land, and it's usually a lot more involved and crazier than the mini missions that you're doing, and then you go on and do chapter and chapter. It's not a bad game at all, at least from what I described. However, it's very janky, but this is what I kind of expect from Playway SA sort of published games, just like a lot of jank here and there for 20 bucks. However, it's not like terrible. This is a game that I feel like it's going to do well just because of the niche of the simulator games. This one doesn't say, quote unquote, Thief Simulator. They already have a game called that. The reason why it's called American Theft 80, it's because it's set in that time place, sort of, and that's it. So it's not bad. It's a little janky because, well, you're driving a car, you're going through trees. And NPCs, when you run them over, they roll out of the way. Different sorts of NPCs act differently, weirdly. Maybe they have weird line of sights that, it's just janky in some ways, but that's the fun of these types of games. You don't know how things are going to act. You can play as serious as you want, but if you turn the corner, an NPC stares you right in the face, they might not see you just because line of sight's covering you by a small twig or something like that. So it's really weird, but that's the fun of these sort of games. So, yeah, I would say if you are really, really in a Thief Simulator and games like that, I'd recommend it. If you're here looking for an extremely fun and polished game, probably not. But if you're here for fun jankiness, yes, I think it's good. So, if you guys enjoy, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already subbed for daily videos, come on to my Twitch where I streamed all of this and this review live. And head on over to the Let's Play channel to see the playthrough I'm putting up. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.